Folks, we are down here in Chesterfield County, South Carolina, outside the beautiful town of Angelus, South Carolina. Now, Angelus, believe it or not, was right here. The whole town is gone. Now, the people still live in this area and still consider themselves living in Angelus, but this is actually where the center of the town was. They've been out mudding a little bit. If I can keep from getting ran over, we're going to go in here and check out this building. So if you look over here, there's some kind of something there. I don't know what that was. But what we're going to show you right now is the post office. Now, Donnie, you bought a post office before.
Yep.
We bought the post office in Jefferson, which is a lot different than a post office you would think of today. Back in the day, the post office was just one of the first buildings in town. And, you know, it didn't have to be big. There was a postmaster or somebody in there. You walk in and talk to him. I wasn't around back then, so I don't know how it all went. But
Me neither.
This was the post office.
It's probably more than a post office. I think it was just a post office on one side.
Yeah, so we're going to check it out a little bit. And like I said, it's the town of Angelus. Behind this building, there was a whole bunch of other stuff. We're in the South, here in South Carolina. A lot of this county, they grew cotton. So there were cotton gins and cotton mills and all of that. The reason that Jefferson was a fairly big town for its time, and I said town, not city. It wasn't a big city, it was a big town. For its time was because you could go there and buy and sell cotton. So the farmers would come to town, sell their cotton, and there were banks there, et cetera, et cetera. So we've been over here before.
It wasn't this bad last time we were here.
Yeah, it's getting worse and worse. The roof is collapsed. I don't think the whole roof was down last time.
Yeah, I don't remember it being down. Fact of the matter is, I remember walking through there. But this was where the post office was, I believe.
You can see the old wood door here with the dowel rod still in it. Who knows how many people have been through that door. We'll look at this side first and we'll go look over at Donnie's side. So this was probably a wall. This would have been the roof. So you got the metal roofing, you got the decking of the roof rafters, and at some point that was probably in the middle of the room, maybe just back behind that window. And whenever it fell, the whole roof collapsed down on top of it. And so that wall at one point, you know, had the old slat wall. What do they call it, Donnie? Beadboard. Usually the ceiling and the walls would have that on it, but that was probably the back wall of this room. And it's just a little tiny room. I would say it's 12 feet by, well, I don't know, Donnie. I guess it went all the way across, didn't it?
This one here is about 70 or 80 feet long, this sidewall.
No, it ain't that long. It's short.
I think that was the counter there.
Yeah, that's probably the counter.
Side door there, a little half door.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there's your beadboard wall that you was talking about.
Yep.
And there's the beadboard on the ceiling.
Yep. Yeah, so that might not be the wall on that side because we got the same thing going on here.
That was the ceiling joists.
Yeah, I guess they just had it so that there would be a drop from the front to the back. Mm-hmm. And now it's really dropped. Yeah, the floor is collapsed. You can see where I guess they had some lattice up above the counter.
Yeah, this room's only about maybe 15 deep.
Yeah, it's not that that deep.
20.
Oh yeah, but there's a back room. Okay.
Yeah, if you look over here,
So you can see these little, this is the brick pockets where the beams were in. And you can see up here the slant of the roof. You can see the old plaster that was on the walls. Most of it's gone now because the rain's been coming down on this wall for a long time. It's the Angelus post office.
Look around that side there, Ryan. Look back. See if we can get the camera over there.
Now you can see here that there was probably some other entrance here that may have been where the front door was. And yeah, he's right. That wall is like 70 feet long, or maybe even, yeah, probably 70 feet long.
But look at that big tree right there in the middle of it, right behind this building.
Yeah.
That big poplar.
So there is a, I don't know, 80-foot tall tree that's growing up right beside that wall, but on the other side of the wall. So this side over here has been gone quite a while. You can see some more of whatever the foundation was. But, you know, we weren't here back then. Maybe this side was the post office. It sure looks like this side. This side over here looks post office-y to me.
Yeah,
and it doesn't have to be that long to be a post office.
Yeah, I can see the chimney. Did you see the chimney in there?
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, we can't go in there, people. I mean, it literally could kill us.
Yeah, we ain't going in there. You can see the chimney right through there pretty good.
Looks like we can get around this side. We'll see if we can go around back. All right, folks, so we made it out back. You can see the roof where it collapsed inside. This is a little stoop here with a pretty large tree growing right off of it. And you can see this tree, how it's growing up right beside that wall. Look how it's compromised by the wall. So it's trying to push that wall over. You can see that it's succeeding a little bit. Starting to break the wall up. We were talking about that earlier. If you leave a building long enough, birds sit on the edge of the wall. Birds eat seeds. They drop seeds down on the ground, fertilized, and then this grows up beside the wall and knocks the wall over. Nature's way of getting rid of anything that we leave behind. So here is like it's not really a creek.
Just a low spot.
It's just a wetland. And if you look over on the other side, there is all kinds of stuff over there. That's basically ruins of the town of Angelus, which again would have had, I don't know, what is that, Donnie? Can you tell what anything was?
There was a big cotton mill and all.
There was a cotton mill and stuff, but there was, the train came up here as well. So somewhere there was a train station right in through here somewhere. And I know you can't see much, but that's just...
There's a bunch of foundations over there for sure, all the way back as far as I can see back up in there.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to see if I can go down a little bit more so we can get a little bit better picture of it. So hid kind of here, and again, we're right by the road. If you go to the right of the post office, and the reason we know this is the post office, we've had a lot of old timers tell us about it. That almost looks like, Donnie was saying, like an oil changing spot or train tracks. So that could be where the train came through.
There's metal there for sure.
Yeah, if you look, right, so that could be part of the train. Yeah, I think so, Donnie, because look over on the other side. It catches it.
Yeah, but look at all that oil right there, all the oil.
Donnie's thinking maybe they were changing oil there, that it was part of a service station or something. Yeah, well, he's got a good point. Yeah, there's a lot of oil jugs there.
And they're all metal jugs, too. Look at all the metal. I see a Quaker stake from where I'm standing. 2 Quaker stakes.
So if you look, that heads out towards the road, and we know that the train came through Angelus. This is Angelus. It's almost like a little small bridge that went over this low area here. The entire town's gone. There's no business at all left, but it was all in this one little area that's probably 6-7 acres.
There's a bunch of tin. That building was still standing about 10 or 15 years ago.
Now, somewhere out here, there would have been a train stop where you could actually get on and off the train. When did they say it ended, Donnie? In the late 40s?
49, I believe.
1949 was its last journey or something like that.
That building is the one that's standing. It's still standing over there.
All right, he's saying we got a building left. There's still some metal over there. Now, we are on the other side of where the post office is. So it's here. We're walking through the little thing. So there's that low spot we were looking at from the other side. And here's a huge foundation here. I'd say huge, but it's more like 1,500 square feet. That's huge compared to that other little building. So who knows what that was? The school is just down the road, the old schoolhouse. And it's been burnt down and torn down too, unfortunately. It's just crazy seeing this. I don't know why. You'd think that
1950. Half pint.
Crown?
Smirnoff.
Smirnoff, half pint. Show them the 50.
Getting ate up by ants, so you're gonna have to look quick.
So most bottles on the bottom, it'll tell you the date that it was made. Is that a 50 or 60? 50, 1950. Yeah, it says right on it, 1950.
Ants are eating me up.
So, in other words, this stuff's been here quite a while. We drive by this all the time. Donnie's been out here a couple times before just looking around, but you can see just this is not trash. This is not like things people have dumped. This is the town, and it wasn't destroyed by a hurricane or a tornado or anything. It was just abandoned, and over time, everything fell in. But
You see them big old beans up there?
you could walk through here. I mean, there were like different buildings, and I don't know if all of this was part of the cotton gin or cotton mill or what, but it's pretty incredible, really. You can imagine all the local kids probably loved to come hang out here back in the day in the middle of the night, all these abandoned buildings. Who knows how far it goes back? So yeah, so that's what's left of the town of Angelus. There is another town near here that that is completely gone. It's in the middle of a field now, kind of like Donnie is. So there you go, folks. That's the little town of Angelus. Back over here, I think, is part of somebody else's land. I don't think that was part of it. But basically, if you live in this area within a mile or so, whenever people refer to it, they say, oh, I live out in Angelus. But the actual town is completely gone. So there you go, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. Now, if you did like that video, here's another one you might find interesting. We'll see you on the next one.